I want to know, if you're not doing it for the money or the publicity, why would you even bother?
I think the truth should be known.
Let me look at this. I'd love to hear this.
Yes. The truth should be known.
That gentleman is the esteemed country music star. That's J.D. Souther right there. He is Souther, rather. Sumner, J.D. Sumner. J.D. and Elvis were best friends since Elvis was 14. J.D. Sumner. J.D. is a well-known singer and
no.
Everybody lived a lie.
Sitting next to him, Joe Esposito.
You're the only one that lived a lie. No, I'm not hurting you.
Joe Esposito's a close friend and confidant of Elvis. J.D. Sumner, best friend since early on.
Why would you not deny if you ever heard of this, J.D.?
We're not talking about drugs. We're talking about your Popeye's lie about him sleeping with his mama. How can you sit there? How can you sit there in America watching you and tell such a blooming lie?
How could you sit there and let him die with the drugs and not recognize?
I knew him long before you did.
You probably did.
I was sung at his mother's funeral. I attended church with his mom and him. And you are lying, lady.
I was
you
told
have repeated a lie.
I was told
You're
by.
lying.
How do we know?
I was told by.
Wait a minute. First of all, I would love
Joe Esposito.
Geraldo. I would love. She's broke. Her own boys told me she's broke, and she's doing it for money. What other reason is to do this? What would this help? How's this going to help anybody if Elvis slept with his mother?
Even if it were so, even if the first nth degree was so, which it is not, it would take a low down person to reveal such stuff.
She wanted him, and he said, I'll put up with it as long as she's around, but she'll never take my mother's place, and I'll never call her mother.
What do you mean she came after him? What are you talking about?
Well, okay, she was married in Germany at the time to a sergeant in the army when Vernon married her. And when Vernon met her,
which she tried to seduce Vernon to leave her husband with.
He did.
She was married then.
Well, she left him for Vernon.
Yeah.
What? She left him for Vernon.
Take a break. Now, J.D., you allege that Dee flirted with Elvis?
That what?
That Dee flirted with Elvis in Germany?
No, I said that she was living with her first husband, Mr. Stanley, which I wish she'd go back using that name instead of Presley. She was living with him when she went after Vernon, and going after Vernon, she was after Elvis.
Good.
Let me just say one thing. Number one, I address you as Mrs. Stanley because you don't deserve to have the Presley name. Thank you. If Stanley...
about Elvis. If this isn't true, that will come out. But this is part of history, and it would explain all the dysfunction and how he ended up the way he ended up.
You mentioned that Goldman had written something similar to the same thing. Goldman's book is a lie. I was involved in Goldman. He even took some statements I made and made a lie out of them. It's either the truth or it's a lie. There's no gray area when you call a man a homosexual, and when you say a man sleeps with his mother. I just wonder that Judas portrayed Jesus Christ and got 30 pieces of silver.
J.D., did Elvis sleep with his mother? Did Elvis sleep with his mother, though, in a bed? No, until he was 16 and 17.
This is for J.D.
Quiet, please.
My understanding is you were friends with Elvis when you were young. How young?
No, not really.
No, JD. For J.D.
When he was 14 years old.
Well, if you were a 14-year-old, when you were 14, if your mother was abusing you or sleeping with you, having incest with you, would you go and tell Elvis that? It's an embarrassing situation for Elvis. I'm not saying it was true. If it was or if it wasn't, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. But if this situation happened to you, would you be telling your friends? You wouldn't.
If this had happened to me, that I was sleeping with my mother?
Yes.
Well, my mind can't go there.
Right. But when Elvis was 14 years old. He couldn't conceive of this
I
either.
knew Gladys. She did not know Gladys. I went to church with Gladys. I sang at Gladys's funeral. We were supposed to sing 3 songs. They were a very religious family. They had a glass covering over her coffin. Elvis laid over her coffin and said, "Mama, I'd give everything I got in the world and dig ditches the rest of my life just to bring you back for 5 minutes." And then for somebody to come up here and tell a blasted, blooming, confounded lie like that is sickening and disgusting. And every time...
Take a break.
The most intimate relationship, and he shared.
JD, you got 20 seconds. They're the American people.
If you don't think anything of your own family and your own boys, which you have made sick, you have almost ruined your son's ministry, which he's a good kid. What about Lisa Marie? Did you ever love her?
Let's get back to
Did you ever have any feeling for Lisa Marie?
I loved all of them. But JD, let's take it back. My sons
We can't
have
take it
lived.
back.
No. The point, JD, nobody lived. Everybody around Elvis lived a lie.
I have been as sorry as you can get.
I have been sorry too about the situation.
And you're still doing a good job.
Well, this issue has to be.
Take a break.